manager Butch Hobson, the Lancaster Barnstormers had a magical year in 2014, winning the championship in their 10th anniversary season. In the finals, the Barnstormers swept the Sugarland Skeeters, winning the final game on Gabe Jacobo's dramatic 13th inning home run. Jacobo was named the series MVP.
Well, it's always sad when a young person dies in an accident. Meredith Demko's story hit a lot of readers especially hard because of the timing. She had just graduated from St. Peter Strasburg less than a month before. Also, it was such a senseless death. The driver who killed Meredith is accused of being drunk and under the influence of heroin when his vehicle struck Meredith's. The Respect Amish movement was from one person, local filmmaker Mary Haverstick, basically saying enough was enough. She decided that the many negative and violent portrayals of the Amish community on television and in movies were harmful both to the Amish themselves as well as the image of Lancaster County.
A two-alarm fire Saturday, September 13th displaced as many as 16 stand holders at the Green Dragon Farmers Market and auction. The fire's cause was not determined, but was not considered suspicious. Totaling about $700,000 in damages, it was the 10th most costly non-residential fire since 2000 in Lancaster County. Green Dragon owners, stand owners, and faithful customers demonstrated resiliency, rebuilding days after the fire, and reopening part of the market September 26th, missing just one Friday of business.
Winter 2014, remember that? 60 inches of snow, probably the worst in 20 years according to Eric Horst. Wasn't that fun? It doesn't look like it's going to be as bad this winter. We have an El Nino pattern which will bring variable weather. Eric thinks there will be higher precipitation, both rain and snow, but nowhere near as bad as last year.
I thought it was important with the heroin story to get inside of it and really actually talk to people who were doing heroin. From then on, the story unfolded. There were so many different aspects to it: the overdose aspects, the emergency aspects, the crime related, the drugged driving. It all just sort of unfolded, and it showed readers how important this topic is to our community.
Governor Tom Corbett made history this year, becoming the first governor not to win re-election since governors in Pennsylvania were allowed to seek re-election. Some of it had to do with the fact that he had low approval ratings from his first year when he made cuts to education, and he was never quite able to rebound from that. He also didn't have many things to show for his 4 years. His first 4 years in office, he had trouble working with his own GOP legislature and getting some things done, primarily pension reform and privatizing the liquor system.
With the proposed natural gas line pipeline, people have risen up to challenge a project that they see as private enterprise taking from them their cherished private property and natural landscapes purely for private profit. And to add insult to injury, much of the gas that would flow through the pipeline would be shipped overseas and not used here in the United States.
Norman Hahn and his family are conservative, pro-life Mennonites who live in East Earl. They never imagined that their case would reach the U.S. Supreme Court. The Affordable Care Act requires large employers to provide coverage for emergency contraception, including the morning after pill, which the Hahns liken to abortion, although science would say otherwise. The company faced crippling fines if they didn't provide the coverage, so they sued the federal government. For the Supreme Court, they had a balancing test to apply. The justices had to decide whether the government's interest in women having comprehensive health care coverage outweighed the religious freedom rights of the Hahns. In the end, it was a close call. The Supreme Court justices ruled 5-4 in favor of Conestoga Wood.
Amber Martin's story was special. It's tragic to watch a person dying so young, but her struggle with cancer was inspirational because of her cheerful outlook and her amazingly strong faith. She didn't sink into depression, but she used her plight to inspire, and she touched people's hearts all over the world. She was one of the bravest people I ever had the pleasure to meet, and she had an unforgettable smile.